India, the golden bird. A vibrant land of diversity and culture. Once the largest colony of the British Empire, India's independent spirit led to a freedom movement that sent waves across the world. And after years of struggle, the Democratic Republic of India was born in 1947, with a partition that led to one of the largest migrations of history. Ever since, India has made rapid progress, emerging as a true global force, while also witnessing periods of conflict and protest. And one artist using his words as a form of resistance is Roy. This is Awaaz India.
Hi, I'm Sumit Roy. I make visuals and music. It's always been what I feel about, what I see around, and I just try to be as fearless in my expression. When I was growing up, India was just getting these lessons that, intolerance is bad. There was much more coexistence, is what we saw while growing up. But we are facing a leadership which is letting the idea of coexistence die out. Then it was very interesting when I went to Gujarat. The fact that I was in an art school where I had peers who were talking about the riots, who talked about how they were affected by the riots.
The partition of 1947 that brought India freedom also planted the seeds for a divide between the Hindu and Muslim communities, which has led to several conflicts over the years. The Gujarat riots of 2002 were triggered by the burning of a train carrying Hindu pilgrims, leading to statewide violence that lasted for 3 days, causing the loss of over 1,000 lives. Questions remained over the inability of the government to contain the riots under the leadership of then Chief Minister Narendra Modi, who would go on to forge a dominant legacy, becoming the Prime Minister in 2014 with an overwhelming majority. And though his reign is credited with several achievements, a narrative amplified by a favourable nationalist media, the country faces socio-economic issues which don't get as much attention. Roy brings the focus back onto these pressing matters.
चौकीदारी तो सही पर बोलो नौकरी कहाँ लाठी लेके भैंस पे अब चौधरी यहाँ जाति औरत मर्दों में बंटवारा है यहाँ मसले अब भी औरत के सन्नाटे में यहाँ.
People currently are right now in a space where they're constantly told कि आप खतरे में हो, and once they come back home, they are presented on a news channel where they see loud screams and they're constantly believing that. I think art acts as something to probably declutter this noise.
सपने लेके बैठा लेबर चौक पे रमेश विकास को छुपा के मंदिर मुद्दा है विशेष झूठ मजबूत पर इकोनॉमी है वीक पियोन की नौकरी पीएचडी की भीख सोशल प्रोटेक्शन भी बाकियों से वीक सच बेरोजगारी पर ये माने कैसे ठीक.
This whole album that I'm dropping called Hero is based on this Satyajit Ray film called Hero Raja Deshe. It was just a beautiful film where they talk about a fascist king who silenced anyone who was not with his opinion. This has been a very prominent theme to reflect upon in the current times.
प्रचार तो सही पर बोलो नौकरी कहाँ.
Though India is recognized as the world's largest democracy, its citizens have experienced their freedom of expression steadily decline, with a growing intolerance towards any form of dissent. Protests over the past decade have been met with force, while voices critical of the government are often villainized or silenced.
Sentiments of a broken nation, separated by religions and the hesitation. Vote banks, industries and corporations fill the pockets of the rich and famous at the cost of poverty.
Over the years, there has been a trend of activists, journalists, people just being silenced for right to information, right to speech. And when the Gauri Lankesh murder happened, to see a journalist of that stature, just to basically witness the cost of free speech being someone's life, was really scary.
पूर्ण स्वराज पर शब्दों पे लाठी क्यों खिंचता है हाथ मैं लिखने से डरूं क्यों पूर्ण स्वराज सवालों पे क्यों हो बवाल क्या यही है अच्छे दिन
We are definitely in an era where we are seeing democracy just being technically present, but I mean the foundations being completely removed. We are seeing more and more protests. We are seeing more and more minorities feel very insecure about their being in the country. I mean, we are seeing forces going into educational institutions to see like people from different walks of life just coming together and like saying कि ये गलत हो रहा है. That was really heartwarming.
से बनी इतनी सस्ती पर सकती है छात्रों पे सोचो पे और विचारों पे पत्थर को पूजे पत्थर से मारे दर्शक हम सब है रक्षक हो हमारे राक्षस और दानव को परखे पहचाने आजादी के सपने हमारे पर पूर्ण स्वराज शब्दों पे लाठी क्यों.
Through his work, Roy articulates ideas as a way of cutting through the distorted version of reality and believes in the power of communication design as a tool for social change.
I think it's a massive design problem. These guys have shown us that like how they can take a majority and say कि like आप खतरे में हो. So like let's just study the channels. And we are the ones who actually excel in these channels. So let's just like make what needs to be made and give them as Maggie.
ये इंसान नहीं ये गौ है माने ये खुद को ज्ञानी क्यों क्योंकि कंकड़ है इनके जान बजरंग है इनके दल में सब संगी है इनके संग में बत्ती गाने ये चीखे और लोगों को मारे सर पे नारों में ही सच है बातें तेरी ही है स्वच्छ है माथे पे तेरे है टीका और हाथों में मेरे पूर्ण स्वराज पर शब्दों पे लाठी क्यों घिसता है हाथ मैं लिखने से डरूं क्यों पूर्ण स्वराज